My name's Chris Wright. Most people that know professional wrestling know me as C.W. Anderson. I started out in 1993 when I got through playing minor league baseball. Loving it, traveled the world, little country boy from a little place called Emmet. It's one of those where I've been to places that I never thought I would get to see. It's a very tough business. I got hurt a lot, but it was one of those things that was my drug. I never drank, never smoked, but that was my addiction, was to go out there and entertain fans and enjoy seeing the reaction that I got from them as being this real tough guy that, real mean. And all the pain and all, like I said, all the injuries I've ever been through has definitely been worth that. Somebody goes out there and works 40 hours a week to pay their $10, $20 to watch me perform was definitely worth all the injuries. We were in Oklahoma City and I was wrestling a guy, and he and I were doing a move. And when you're in wrestling, you're taught to hurt yourself before you hurt the other guy, and that's really what I did. We were on the second rope and I was doing a move called a superplex, and when I landed, he didn't go over quite right, so I was trying to help him over and landed wrong and herniated a disc between my L5 and S1. I was going to a gym in Clayton, and that's what they suggested, to come to Clayton Physical Therapy. And I met with the guy Matt the first day, and it just took off from there. For like 6 months I was there twice a week. Took me into the room, he looked at my x-rays, and he was pretty much telling me just what he was going to do with me. We were going to start out basic, start out small, just some of the things that we were going to be doing, and we were just going to go from there. But everybody treated me great. Everybody was, glad I was there and glad I was taking that next step in rehabbing my back to get me back out again, because at that point I could barely touch my knee. In the beginning it really couldn't. I was sore, and he was having to back up off of things with some of the workouts. But as I progressed and the months went on, I got stronger, and he said that he had to gauge me different. He would, adjust things to my body and my strength. He'd give me a list of things to do as far as the stretching, and if I want to do any little exercises, just to take what he was showing me and take it home with me, just like pelvic twist and a wall squat, where you just basically sit against the wall and squat down. He suggested I get one of those balls, and when I'm playing video games, because I'm a big video game player, to sit on that instead of sitting on a chair, because when you sit in a chair, pretty much your core is not being in use because it's relaxing. But with that, it has to be engaged the entire time. But the stretching was the main thing he was telling me to do, and that was the biggest thing that helped. When I first walked in, I could barely touch my knees. When I walked, I kind of walked hunched over. It seemed like that was the normal thing, and he was telling me when I walked to walk upright, to help, take your pelvic, tilt it forward more or less, and walk more upright. And I couldn't run. I couldn't do hardly anything. The stretching was hurting. But by the end of the sessions, I was challenging myself, because I was sprinting. I was doing all these kinds of hops, all these squats. Every day it seemed like my body and back got stronger. By the end of it, when I could play golf, my drive had increased by about 30 some yards just from doing all those core exercises. When I played softball, my back didn't hurt as much. I could get up in the mornings out of bed, because most of the time when I got out of bed, I felt like, I was about 80 years old. I was having to hold on to things, and it took me a few minutes to be able to stand up. But by the end of it, I was able literally to be able to jump out of bed and stand up. I felt like I was about 20 again. I would definitely recommend Clayton Physical Therapy and Wellness to anybody that's looking to get better, that wants to change. You can pretty much say change their life, because I see so many older folks, people that are my age, people that are younger, that have gone through injuries, car wrecks, sports related or anything, that can't walk, can't move. I just saw somebody the other day that's had 4 back surgeries, can't even hardly move his arm. And I said, well, have you gone to even try physical therapy? He says, I've tried it, it hasn't worked. And I'm like, well, you haven't gone to the right one. I need to give you a number to Clayton Physical Therapy and let these guys work with you, because I guarantee you, if you go in there with an open mind and willing to do it, you'll be able to feel better about yourself. And not only that, you'll feel better during the day. You'll be able to move better. And that's really what it's all about. I think when I was injured, that was one of the scariest places and moments I'd ever been, because I didn't know if I'd ever walk right again, if I was going to be one of these older guys you see that's on a cane or in a stroller or in a wheelchair, because I was in a wheelchair at the time. And going to Clayton Physical Therapy and Wellness, it really saved my life. It gave me a new outlook that, hey, if I can do this, anybody can do this. And if, God forbid, I ever get injured wrestling again, because they keep telling me the more I wrestle, the older I get, I'm going to get injured again, that I would definitely do it again. But these guys there, they literally saved my life and made me appreciate just the simple things, being able to get out of bed in the morning, be able to bend over and, touch your toes more or less, and, being able to walk and to do things like I do, play golf. And as much as I push my body, knowing that it's going to hold up, because just these little simple exercises that people overlook and think, oh, they can't help you, is the biggest things that would help you in life.